Yo, what is up, guys? It's your main man, the paper, the Goomba here. I know, the most masculine name of all time, the most non-cringy name of all time. Anyways, I have this Byrna HD here. Had it for about 8 months. And I thought I'd just do a quick little, I don't know, long-term review of this. Did one on my Surface Duo, and that was kind of fun. So I thought I'd do one on this. But yeah, if you don't know, the Byrna HD is in. Oop, that was my wall. We're good. We're good though. I leave the mistakes in, as a wise man once told me myself. Anyways, um, if you don't know, the Byrna HD is a non-lethal self-defense mechanism, right? It fires these balls, which can be filled with pepper, tear gas, or they can just be solid like this. And it fires 5 rounds and is powered off of CO2, right? It's a pretty much a full size pistol here. I have a Springfield XDE here as a little size comparison here. This is a full size pistol. And here we'll move this. And this is kind of like here. I'll zoom out a little bit. Well, just kidding. I can't zoom out a little bit, but like this is kind of the size comparison here, right? Like it's about the XDE is a little bit longer, but the Byrna is quite a bit thicker, if you can see that. And it is lighter though, the Byrna, quite a bit lighter than the XDE. But I've really enjoyed it. I've had it for about 8 months now. It's in pretty good condition. I have it slipped out of my my hands one time as I was walking inside, and it dropped onto the cement and got a little ding there, and it's a little ding on the safety too. But overall, it's in pretty good condition. Here I'm gonna take the round out of this so I can be a little less cautious here. It holds 5 rounds, and I like to use the kinetic rounds. I loaded it with the pepper rounds for a couple months, but I because I kind of underestimated the kinetic rounds, but like these things are bad. Like the kinetic rounds, like bad in a good way. Like you shoot that at a thin piece of wood, it will go through it. You shoot it at a thin cardboard, it will go through it. Like you put it out by a 2x4, it will put a pretty good sized dent in it. And like so, like do not underestimate these things. If you shot someone with this, they would think they'd been shot because like it would hurt really bad, right? And if you fired 5 shots at them, oh, may God have mercy on their soul. But I enjoy this because I don't want to kill anybody, and this gun is basically incapable of killing anybody. I'm sure you could if it hit him right in the right place, but I'm actually not going to get that back in. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'll conceal it when I'm doing DoorDash, and it makes you feel a lot safer. Someone like me who's a little shorter, a little scrawnier, it's nice to have something like this that you can't kill someone with, but will defend them. And I really enjoyed this. It has a very, very nice safety. Very, very nice safety. That's one thing I really enjoy about the gun. Like, listen how satisfying. Wow, right? And yeah, now a big con of this gun is that, oh gosh, come on, is that it's very expensive. This is like $400, right? And for that same price, you're getting near being able to buy like a Glock 19. You know what I mean? Which, a little quick size comparison here. Byrna is quite a bit thicker than the Glock 19, and oh gosh, and about the same length, but the Glock 19 is quite a bit heavier. But for the price you pay for one of these, plus all the rounds, like the rounds are pretty. If you get into some of the chemical rounds, like it can be like $35 for like 5 of them, and it's like it's ridiculous how expensive the rounds are. The kinetic rounds are really cheap, it's like 95 for 35, but well, 90. Okay, not $35 for 95 rounds. Should clarify that. But like you could buy a pretty good firearm for the $400-ish you're spending on this, plus some ammo, and you also have to buy the CO2 for this. You have to buy the rounds. It's recommended you clean. I put about, I don't know, probably about 130 rounds for this. I just like shooting it. I become very confident with the gun. When I first got it, I wasn't very confident, but I'm pretty accurate with it. I'm pretty confident with it. I know the capabilities of it, and I put like 130 rounds through it, had no issues whatsoever. But my dad, who has one, his came actually malfunctioned. This here, I'm gonna, so I don't want to be safe here. He would pull the trigger, right, to fire a round. It's unsafe. So he would pull the trigger to put in a round, right? And you see how, here, I'll show you guys. And again, this is empty, so don't have a freak out on me. It pulls the barrel back, right? So what's happening when you pull this trigger, okay? You put the CO2 in through the front, right? It lets a little bit of the CO2 gas out when you pull this trigger, right? Then the barrel pops back, okay? The CO2 flows into the chamber, I guess you'd call it. This goes back, and then you release this, and the force of all of that CO2 coming out, and this makes the ball go forward. And that same science goes for just about any CO2-powered air gun. But my dad's, his came like this too. And again, these are not cheap. He'd pull back, right? He'd get a shot out, and then the barrel would get stuck in there, right? And so it'd just stay like this, and he'd kind of have to mess with it, and then it'd finally go up. But he couldn't get more than one consecutive shot off. And he's still going through the process of trying to get his in order. But mine, I've really enjoyed mine. I've had no hitches with it really at all. It's very durable. It's gotten wet. It's gotten hot. It's been dropped, and it's good. Like, it's very durable. That's one thing I will say. I also like the tactical rail. I've been wanting to get a flashlight for like $100. But yeah, the pros of the device are it's non-lethal. Okay. It'll definitely stop most attackers, right? You don't have to pay, especially the ammo crisis right now. If you only plan on shooting these kinetic rounds, they're a pretty good price. But if you want to shoot those chemical rounds, and it's even more expensive than traditional ammunition. You don't need any licenses or anything to buy it, all right, or to really conceal it whatsoever. In the state I live in, you don't really need to for any kind of firearm. But this isn't a firearm. We'll call this an air gun. And the other thing I really like about it is that it looks like a real gun. Like if someone was approaching you and you said, "Hey man, back off," and they didn't, and you said last warning, and then they didn't, and you pull this out, right? It's gonna look like a real gun to them, right? And it's not like there's a lot of replica guns that like you pull that out, and if it doesn't deter them you having a gun, which most situations will be stopped as soon as they see you have a gun, then you're kind of screwed, because what are you gonna do? Fire some BBs at them? Fire some pellets, right? Like this thing, this goes at like 240 miles an hour. This will really hurt. Like imagine getting hit by an airsoft pellet, right? But an airsoft pellet that's like that big and going a lot faster, right? And if you put 5 of these into someone, ow, that would that'd come close to, like, if you hit them in the ribs, that'd come close to cracking their rib cage, right? And like again, this is marketed as non-lethal, but I'm sure if you put one of these right in the right place in the skull, it could definitely cause some issues, right? And so, yeah, there is kind of a problem with the magazines, which is kind of dumb. So, like, let's say I wanted to take a single ball out, okay, like that, okay? Now, watch this, okay? You ready for this? It's actually kind of funny. The first time I did this, it was not funny, because these were pepper rounds in that scenario, and one of them was cracked open, and that could create some issues. But it's like, watch this. They all come out with that tiny little press of the thing. And so that's kind of an issue. If you, let's say you somehow went through all your rounds in a magazine, right? And so you're engaging someone, right? You fire all your rounds, you drop the magazine, right? You pull out a new magazine, and in your anxiety, you accidentally hit this, boom, there goes all your rounds. Okay, I'll get that in a second. But like, and so that's a problem. I don't know how they didn't see that one. Well, that's an issue, right? It's not a very big issue. Like, hold on, I'm gonna grab this ball. If I can find it. Oh gosh. Okay, well, we'll worry about that. We'll worry about that later. But, yeah. So that's kind of an issue. It's kind of dumb they didn't see that one coming. And, like, you'd think for as big as a company as Byrna is, that they'd be able to see that. They also released a new Byrna XL, I believe, and that's basically just the same thing. It just has the 12 gram CO2 adapter. Now, I'm not a big fan of the 12 gram CO2 adapter because it really doesn't add much. It makes the gun bigger, and it's already pretty big. And I just not a huge fan. It doesn't work with as many holsters, that kind of thing. But yeah, this is just my quick little long-term review of the Byrna HD. Overall, it's a pretty good self-defense air gun. I enjoy it, and I'd give it an 8 out of 10. But anyways, this has been the Paper Goomba, I know, so non-cringy. I hope you have a good day, a pogger day, and yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked it, like it. If you dislike it, please report it for terrorism. Have a good rest of your day, and I'm out.